Cy here. Well, it's time for another OPP. Woohoo! Yeah! And I've had a few more submissions come in since I mentioned that I didn't have very many submissions. So yay! We have a whole bunch of awesome projects to look at. Woohoo! Let's get started. These first projects are from Jason Richelhoff, and he said that he made this fretwork bear for his mom for Mother's Day. And then he also made these ornaments. Thank you so much, Jason, for sharing those with us. These next couple of projects are from Phill Gavin, and he has made some door hangers. He said he used a Steve Good pattern that he cut down and trimmed or cropped two different sizes to fit his doors. And he said that he used some acrylic paint, and he also used some spray glitter paint. And then he also used some snow material on them. He said the snow pieces he actually bought from a hobby store, and then he painted those and added those to the door hangers. Phill also made this owl, and it's Judy Gale Roberts Pattern. He said he used leftover oak flooring for the tree. Wow, that's cool. And he used scraps of walnut, ebony, and wenge. He said he stained the leaves using ash. And he used a cellulose sealer and a beeswax finish. Phill also made these vases, and he said he used that oak flooring again for this. He said he planed it down to thickness, and he found a pattern for these vases at his local Axminster store online. He said he also put cellulose and the beeswax on these as a finish too. Awesome, Phill. Thank you so much for sharing those projects with us. This next project is by Rebecca Cleveland. It's this Intarsia barn. And she said she made this as part of a fundraiser for her church in hopes to gather money for an addition they're doing on the church. She didn't tell me a whole lot about the project, but you can tell that she used this picture here, and she just copied the picture and made the project. And when I look at her Intarsia, it almost looks like a picture, and it's just, wow, Rebecca, it's awesome. And I hope that it brings in lots of money for the building project. So yay, way to go, Rebecca. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. These next projects are from Teresa, my cousin in Texas. She has drawn this snow leopard, and she said it is 12 by 16, and it is done in pan pastels and pastel pencils on gray pastel matte. Then she also has this acrylic painting of her son Aaron and a dog of theirs named Echo. She said that she started this project years ago, and she got very frustrated with it and put it down, and then she finally bit the bullet and finished it. And man, Teresa, it looks awesome. Thank you so much for sharing those with us. This next project is from Jerry Bair, and he said that he was working on this project, and in midway through the project is when Judy passed away. We all know that Judy passed away early last month. And he said that this is in a classroom in a tube project. And he said it was like having Judy right there. But he said he did have a hard time since Judy passed away while he's in the middle of the project. But he trucked on, and he was able to get it done. And I would say, whoa, Jerry, I'm sure that Judy would be just thrilled at your outcome of the project. The woods that he used are izombie, aspen, ivodire, Gabon ebony, walnut, wenge, big leaf maple, and Spanish cedar. Some woods there I've never heard of before, so wow, neat. And this pattern is called Mom and Baby Intarsia Giraffe, and it's in honor of April and her baby Tajira that was born on April 15th, 2017, and that is from Judy Gale Roberts' webpage. That's what she says about that pattern. So pretty cool that she made the pattern after an actual giraffe that had a baby. So very awesome, and you did a very good job, Jerry. Thanks so much for letting me share that. These next couple of projects are from Mellanie Boone, and she has carved a whole bunch of these little turtles, and she said they are about 3.5 inches from nose to tail by 4.5 inches from flipper to flipper. She carved everything using basswood, and then she painted it all with some acrylic paints, and then she put some finishes over the top of everything. She found this big, huge piece of driftwood that was all muddy and stuff, so they cleaned it up, and she put some finish on it, and then she made a seascape using 6 of the turtles. She made 8 total, but she used 6 of them to make this seascape. She put the turtles all over this, and she also added some seashells and some sea vegetation and some sand and rocks in there and made a seascape. And she won first place in the county fair. So cool, Mel. And next she carved out this young barred owl. And she said she used basswood for this one, and it is 9 inches tall. She said she stained it with a gunstock stain, and then she painted the beak, and she also did some white and grayish areas around the owl where appropriate. She said she used some little stones for the eyes, and she put a gloss on there to make them look very shiny. She attached the owl to the 17-inch limb and also added a little bit of foliage to it. And she won second place in the fair with this one. Very cool, Mel. Thanks for sharing those with us. This next project is from Paul Stevens, and he made a rose cross Intarsia. He said the red rose is mahogany, and he stained it with red acrylic paint. He said the stem is mahogany also. He said the leaves are tulip, and he stained them with green acrylic paint. And he said he made this for his church. Great work, Paul. Thanks so much for sharing that with us. I bet your church loves it. These next couple of projects are from Humphrey Dunn. And this first one is this Crow Harvest, and it's a pattern by Judy Gale Roberts. He said that he has been working on this project for his wife for quite a while, and he finally got it all finished. And the woods he used for the pumpkins were pecan, geobeo, bird's eye maple, and Spanish cedar. And he said the other woods that he used were blue pine, ligum vitae, alder, Peruvian walnut, wenge, and black limba. And the second Intarsia is from a pattern by Lora Irish. And he said that he has a firefighter friend and he wanted to make this for him. And so, who also has a schnauzer. So Humphrey has a schnauzer, his friend has a schnauzer, I have a schnauzer mix, wally! But anyway, the schnauzer people, yeah, woo! Okay, back to the Intarsia. He said that he used wenge, Spanish cedar, bloodwood, yellow heart, maple, lati, basswood, aspen, mulberry, calico elm, and bacodi. So very cool, very, very cool. Thanks for sharing all those with us, Humphrey. And these last projects are from Jim Merrow, and he has quite a few Intarsias he wants to share. This first one is mac and cheese, and it's a free pattern by Judy Gale Roberts, found on her website. And the woods he used were aspen for the cheese, walnut, western red cedar, and cherry. This next project is this rose. It's called Luckier Rose because it's inside of a horseshoe, I guess. And he said it's a pattern by Garnett Hall. And he said the flower is aspen and the horseshoe is atimo and the leaves are green poplar. Very nice. And this bear is his third rendition of this bear pattern. And he said it's a Judy Gale Roberts pattern and it's called Bear Cub. And this one is a classroom in a tube. And I don't know if any of you have used the classroom in a tube, but just like mentioned earlier in the video, having a classroom in the tube is Judy has full instructions, pages and pages of instructions on how to do the project. So very thorough and very awesome. He used sapwood walnut, western red cedar, regular walnut, and elm. Very nice. These two ladies that Jim made are from a pattern by a guy named Eric Héguy. And we can see he used Purple Heart and Paduke and I'm not sure about the other woods, but anyway, very nice, Jim, very nice. And last but not least is this mouse flying on a leaf, and it's a pattern that he found in the Scroll Saw magazine, and it was designed by Lucille Crabtree. He said he used mahogany, aspen, and western red cedar. Thanks so much for sharing all those with us, Jim. Okay, that concludes this episode of OPP. Thanks everybody for sending your projects in, especially I made that announcement in my last video saying I didn't have very many people, and people sent stuff in, and I also called a couple people and said, hey, do you have a project you want me to share? So thank you everybody for letting me share those. If you've never seen OPP before, other people's projects, and you have a project that you'd like me to share, then please send me an email and put OPP in the subject line. And in that email, send me a few pictures and also, tell me a little bit about the project, like where you got the pattern and the woods you used and anything else you'd like to tell me. So again, I say thanks to everybody and we will see you next time. Bye!